In order to properly manage a wetland, you've really got to manipulate that water level. You've got to be able to move the water right when you need it. And if you've got a failing water control structure, you're just going to have little to no management abilities. You're just going to be at the mercy of Mother Nature. The dams and dikes, levees, you've got to keep the woody species off of them. If you don't mow it, burn it, and perhaps even use herbicide, it'll turn into woody vegetation and eventually get to where you can't really manage it with the traditional bush hog. It'd just be real labor intensive. At that point, a lot of folks just kind of give up on it and let it grow up into trees, which compromises the integrity of the dam. And generally, after a few years of being with large trees on the dams, they'll start to fail because of the roots going through there. And it can also get into the water control structures and cause those control structures to fail early. You know, these are man-made structures, and they will eventually fail, but we don't want to speed that process up. You got a properly working stop log structure where we can slowly pull that water off, leave that soil saturated for a few weeks as it's drying out, and try to encourage the germination of the best possible species in that wetland. You know, for the increased diversity within the wetlands, we're always looking for more seed production inside the wetland cell for the migrating waterfowl and all the other wildlife that might be using it. So what we try to do is manage it as a moist soil impoundment. So we want to have moist soil plants growing in there. Those are your more early successional stage plants. Barnyard grasses, panic grasses, sprangle tops, those sorts of things. Those are real big seed producers and are great for waterfowl. And it's free. It's already in the soil. All you have to do is manipulate that water level at the right times and over a long enough period of time to encourage that germination of those specific species.
You know, the thing that I think is really, really important about this particular habitat program is the way it's been leveraged with other federal projects. And so they grow on each other, and that's a poor pun, but they really intertwine with each other. So the goals of one overlap with the goals of the other, and it just continues to cascade. And so the benefits really they multiply, because while the base federal programs, CRP, wetlands programs provided some of the base, other state programs helped build upon, not all of them, but some of them. But then this particular program really was able to build on those, which I think is critically important. So they don't operate all in silos. They really have to work together, both in terms of the bureaucracy, but more importantly, its application.
We have a lot of playas on the western Kansas landscape. There's around 22,000 playas that have been documented in western Kansas. They're really a very important hydrologic feature on our landscape. We have lots of wildlife in Kansas that use playas, from amphibians and reptiles to deer and pheasants and quail. And then, of course, when those playas fill up, waterfowl migrate through and use the playas as well. Out here in western Kansas, our environment's really dominated by agriculture. And so with so many playas out here, most of them are in agricultural fields. And so what we see is that ground is being worked, and we see a lot of sediment that will move into those playas over the course of time. So that native grass buffer really helps filter that sediment out. Our Habitat First program is our habitat program for landowners, and we provide technical service, equipment, and then also a financial component as well for landowners to establish habitat around the playa and help protect it. So what we can do is we can put a native grass buffer around that playa, which will help filter sediment out and keep sediment out of the playa itself, and then protect that clay basin in the bottom of it. We can provide grass drills to landowners. If a landowner has already an established grass buffer there, we can provide cost share to help them manage that grass so it'll be suitable and really a healthy stand of native grass around the playa as well.
If you're interested in learning more about your land, how to manage it, and the wildlife habitat on it, feel free to contact your local wildlife biologist with Kansas Wildlife and Parks.